Do you know what the hardest part is about like trying to be creative, like at all? The amount of notepads you need. Like who needs that? Like there's 5 here. Like I don't need 5. I have 5 though. But I only have 5 because like of bad habits. And because of that had me getting the idea to buy a new book. So I got The Power of Habit by Charles Duhig. Duhig? Sorry, Charles. I tried. But anyway, what that book showed me was a lot about habits that I didn't know about. First of all, I think the most important thing is I wrote it out because it's a definition for what a habit is. As like we all know examples of habits, like getting up in the morning or brushing your teeth is a habit, things like that. But the actual definition of a habit surprised me a little. Habits are what allow us to do a thing with difficulty the first time, but soon more and more easily. Finally, with practice, semi-mechanically or without any consciousness at all. So by the time you do something enough times, first of all, it's a habit. But then after that, you do it without thinking. The thing that jumps right into my head is when I'm driving to work or home from work. I don't really remember too much about the drive unless something spectacular happens. Otherwise, it's my drive home. It's the same. I do it twice a day, so 10 times a week at a minimum, 40 times a month. You're going to forget about it. You do it enough times, it just becomes mundane and repetitive. And realistically, though, with a car, that's how accidents happen. But it's a thing that happens to us all. That we do something every day, and eventually it'll come to that evening and you'll forget doing that particular thing. It could be, did I brush my teeth? Did I put my dish in the dishwasher? Anything at all. If you do it every day, by the time you've done it enough times, you're going to forget when you've done it. But it then showed me about the bad side of habits. Habits can't be eradicated, they can only be modified or changed. So for that reason, that's why it's so hard for people who smoke, for example, to stop smoking. You have a cue, a routine, and then a reward. So it could be for someone who smokes, or bites their nails, or anything else. It could just be out of a sense of anxiousness. So they feel anxious, so they bite their fingernail, they have a cigarette, anything like that, and then the reward is after they might feel relaxed after doing those things. And the problem with that is you need to replace that habit with something else. So it could be, if you bite your nails, when you start feeling anxious, instead of biting your nail, maybe you put a little mark on a card you have in your pocket. You put a little tick on it, something like that. Or that's why nicotine gum is so effective when it comes to people trying to stop smoking, as they replace their nicotine in their cigarette with the nicotine in the gum. Their brain still gets the same reward and they feel better. But that's the thing with the brain. Once the brain begins to expect the reward, that's when something has become a habit. Which is why at the start it's very hard to do new things, as your brain doesn't know what to expect. It's engaged a lot, it's turned on, it's involved in all the decision making process and trying to figure everything out. But after you do it enough times, your brain knows what you're going to do. It begins to expect what you're about to get. So it could be that it's beginning to expect the nicotine, or it's beginning to expect a sweet, or it's beginning to expect the exercise, and that's what forces you to continue through with doing it. And I think that was so interesting, and it's housed in a part of your brain, or in your head rather, a part of your head called the basal ganglia. All of our habits are like just there. Like habit and routine are interchangeable words that I don't think I ever would have thought could be interchanged. I wouldn't have never given too much thought to it. I'm like, you have a habit or you have a routine. Not that habits and routines are the same thing, but they are. They effectively are the exact same thing. And that's probably the biggest thing that I learned from that book that I'm going to impart to you guys is you can't eradicate or remove any habit you currently have, even if it's a bad one. You can only modify it and change it. So the book gave sort of 4 tips to just follow, and this is those. You identify the routine, experiment with your rewards, isolate the cue and then have a plan. So it read in that way, but really what it's saying is cue, routine, reward. And then have your plan at like the beginning or the end, like know what you're gonna do. So identifying your cue. I'm feeling X, so then because of that, I usually have Y. I'm feeling anxious, so I usually bite my nail. The reward then is I feel less anxious. To stop biting my nails, what I need to do then is accept that when I'm anxious, I need to do something else, which will then give me the same reward. So as I said, it could be having a little cue card, or like a little card or a piece of paper, and you just put a little X on it, and then you'll come to realize how many times you are subconsciously biting your nails, for example. I used to bite my nails, I don't bite them anymore. I usually have one that I bite, and then like the other 9 I don't touch. But that was just something I gotten into a habit of, and I hadn't even realised I was doing it half the time until suddenly I made just a conscious effort to stop doing it. And that's something that's going to happen to everyone at a point in their lives. They're going to have a habit or a routine that they don't think about and they don't realise it is bad until they make a change to it. So I would like to thank Charles Duhig for his book that I bought on Amazon. I got it used, so it was like €2, but great book, worth it. I liked the first section. The first section I thought was more practical. Second section, so I dealt with more people or companies, and then the third section did the opposite of that. But yeah, no, the first section was good. Gave me a lot of insight into things. And yeah, if you have any habits you want to kick and you're trying to figure out how to do it, check out that book. I'm sure you'll pick up more things from the book anyway than what you did from me now. But I hope you enjoyed, and let me know how you kick any habits that you have. I said I used biting my nails for my one. Example throughout the book repeatedly is cigarettes, and just if you have anything that you've kicked in the past and maybe you didn't have to follow that system of cue, routine and reward, and if so, if it works for you, it might work for others. So share it, you never know, you might be able to help someone out with something. Good luck.